Welcome to another edition of the WIU Football Coaches Show. Alongside the head coach of the Western Illinois football team, Bob Nielsen, I'm Danny Fry. The Fighting Leathernecks got back in the win column with a thrilling 37-36 homecoming victory over Southern Illinois in the final seconds. Coach, what was it like to finish a game off like that? Kind of how you talked about in the offseason.
Yeah, finish is a key word, and we've been talking about that a lot through the offseason. Games that we were in last year and ended up losing at the end and didn't finish. It was nice to see one come to the end, and we finish it with a win. Before
they finish it, though, let's take a look at the first half highlights from the big homecoming game at Hanson Field. Pretty big crowd on hand. The team coming in, and Western would go right with Nico Watson on the ground very early and often on the first drive. Was that kind of the game plan, to pound it on the ground?
Well, we wanted to establish a run game early. We thought that would open up some opportunities for us to throw it. They're a team that wants to take away the run, and that first series, a couple of big runs by Nico there made him play more honest in the secondary through the course of the day.
Yeah, again, up the middle, 27 yards for the opening touchdown, 12:41 left in the first quarter, 7-0 WIU, and how important was it to get on the board first?
Opening drives are critical, and particularly with the layoff that we had, not playing for a week. You want to start fast, and no better way to start fast than to put the ball in the end zone, and I think what it was, a 4 or 5 play drive.
Yeah, just a quick 4-play drive, and then SIU trying to answer on their next drive in the first quarter, and they would go down and drive pretty well, and that would set up Austin Johnson for seemingly a chip shot for him. He's coming off a special teams player of the week nod, but he slips and misses a 27-yarder and a couple big early stops, Coach.
Yeah, big stop anytime you can keep team from putting points on the board. Defense did a good job when we got into the red zone, raising up and forcing several field goal attempts on the day.
Yeah, onto the second quarter, a few seconds into it, Austin Johnson drills the 51-yard field goal, and thought maybe the wind caught it, but it still made it through the uprights.
Yeah, wind helped that one. I think when it was kicked, we didn't think it was good. We thought it was short, and the wind carried it just far enough that it cleared the crossbar.
After a Watson fumble, another short Southern drive capped off by a field goal, this time of the 39-yard variety, 7-6. Western still by 1, 12:39 left in the second quarter. So Western still trying to limit SIU on offense, bring out the Western offense. Trenton Norvell hit as he throws, but he finds Stacy Smith down the field. It's a pretty good toss under pressure, Coach.
Yeah, he got hit just as he threw. If not, might have been a touchdown because Stacy had beat the secondary there, and Trent stood in the pocket, got him the football, and that big chunk of yards gets us into scoring position.
You see Smith later on kind of becoming maybe another kind of go-to guy, going in the mix with Borsellino and Lenore.
Yeah, he's a dangerous receiver. A lot of speed, great in the open field. We'll continue to find ways to get him the football.
And we mentioned Lance Lenore over the middle inside the 5, and he had a good knack of getting open when they really needed to get down in field position.
He's still the go-to guy for us, and runs great routes. Both he and Joey made some big plays over the course of the day.
A couple plays later, Norvell lofts it to Taylor Hill, who gets the foot down for the touchdown. 14-6 WIU with 9:39 left in the second quarter. And hey, you use Taylor Hill as a target too over the middle.
Well, play we put in off of our goal line package. Teams sometimes aren't going to play that very honestly in the pass, and we snuck Taylor out into the back of the end zone. You might remember that play from a few years ago at Minnesota. So same play we used to score a touchdown there.
Quick out from Mark Iannotti, but Aaron Diggs is there to break it up with a big hit, and then they'll air it out down the far side of the field in the same drive to Jimmy Jones for the 26-yard touchdown, and that's really when the Salukis started to get their offense going, and then the Leathernecks to punt on their next possession. It is blocked and returned for a touchdown by Brandon Williams, the outside linebacker on special teams. 20-14 Salukis, momentum on Southern's side, and has been a little problems with the blocking on punts.
Well, we make a mistake, and that's what we have to eliminate. Our scheme is fine. But we have an individual breakdown, and anytime you're playing football, if you have an individual breakdown, teams can capitalize on that. And so we work hard to make sure that we get that taken care of this week. But a huge momentum play for them, and obviously gave them a lot of momentum going into halftime.
Yeah, momentum really shifting back and forth all game. Adam Hoogerwerf, though, with an amazing diving grab. And why was he more of a target on Saturday?
Well, when you get teams that are going to cover your receivers, you got to pick your poison, I think, right now. If you're going to play heavy coverage to Lance and guys that we target a lot, then our other receivers have to do a good job and get open. And Adam's a guy that has been a real tremendous role player in our program, and a guy we can find ways to get the ball to as well.
On that drive, Western would turn over the ball on down, so it's back to the air for Ionati and the Salukis to Jones. He proved to be quite the threat, Coach.
Yeah, he made a couple of big plays. A ball that they throw really well. Knew that was one of the plays that we had to stop, was the fade ball.
Field goal attempt at the end of the half, pulled wide right again by Johnson. And that was another crucial stop. And Coach, how are you feeling leading most of the game but end up trailing at half 20-14?
Well, the special teams play is a huge momentum swing. We felt confident we were going to be able to move the football. Defensively, we showed the ability to stop them. We just had to clean play up and eliminate some of the mistakes that we've made, and felt that we could do that. We knew we were going to get the ball in the second half, and that first drive was going to be critical.
A lot more football left. All right, stay tuned for the second half highlights in a little bit. You're watching the WIU Football Coaches Show.
Founded in 1985, the Missouri Valley Football Conference has established a tradition of FCS football excellence. Competing at the highest level at NCAA Division I, student athletes at its 10 institutions demonstrate character, passion, and integrity as they grow as a student, an athlete, and a citizen. The Missouri Valley Football Conference, where leaders are shaped and champions are forged.
Western Illinois University allows you to think for yourself and to discover the freedom to become your own.
Own it at Western. Build your own expectations and fill your own shoes.
Explore an academic culture that adapts to you.
Create yourself and inspire originality in an open and safe environment.
Western Illinois University lets you make your own success story.
Think purple.
Think success.
Think Western Illinois University.
Welcome back to the WIU Football Coaches Show. I'm Danny Fry alongside Leatherneck head football coach Bob Nielsen. Coach, how important was it for the team to grab that momentum back in the second half?
I think it was critical. They had all the momentum going into half, and to take that opening drive and move it down the field and score gave us the momentum back for the second half.
And now time to take a look at those second half highlights from Hanson Field, and really a lot of scoring right away. Just a quick little toss to Joey Borsellino, and he's off to the races to the goal line, and Coach is pretty good in open spaces.
Yeah, he is. The standing joke with Joey is he gets tackled at the 1-yard line all the time. I think he's had 4 or 5 plays throughout the last couple of years where he gets tackled at the 1, and another one where he gets it down but just not quite in.
Takes away a couple stats in the touchdown category for Joey, but still a big impact. And then from there, you know who's getting the ball. 1-yard touchdown run by Nico Watson puts WIU back in front 21-20, and pretty nice to have a bowling ball back like Nico.
Yeah, he can carry people into the end zone, and down at that area of the field, sometimes you have to do that. And another big play gives us the lead, which gives us the momentum back in the game.
Yeah, SIU continue to have problems with Watson running the football, so SIU, they try to answer back. Mark Ionati stepping up, and his pass is tipped by Brett Taylor into the juggling arms of Dallas Nichols, and that's a heads-up play there in a tip drill.
Big turnover. We had just scored, get the ball right back, and an opportunity to really swing the game in our favor.
And that is exactly what you guys would do, really wasting no time on the play call after Nichols finally able to haul. And he said he was looking downfield a little bit, and a little excited. But then you guys would be a little more excited after going to the air to Stacy Smith. Trenton hits him in stride for a 53-yard touchdown strike. 11:16 left in the third quarter. 28-20 Leathernecks. Just a perfectly executed play, it looked like.
Well, another play we put in to try to take advantage of a matchup situation. We got Stacy locked onto a linebacker here, and he outran him. And Trent put the ball in a great place, and you see Stacy's speed here. Very few guys, can cut the ball into the referee to be able to hand it to him while they're outrunning the defender.
Seesaw battle really would be an understatement in this game. Salukis wanting to answer right back. Cameron Walter capping a 12-play drive of a 25-yard touchdown run. 5:48 left in the third quarter, and somehow he was able to squeak through. And a big hit alert right here. Ionati scrambling. Taylor and Kalen Saunders greet him with a helmet-losing hit that was very well-timed. We're all of a sudden in the fourth quarter now. Western leading 28-27. Norvell hooks up with Lenore again on the go route. And again, you're talking about being able to break away from your defender.
Yeah, another big play. Unfortunately, we turned the ball over on the next snap and give up a touchdown. One of the things that I know Trent would like to have this play back because it really changed the momentum again in the game.
Yeah, and there's something there where Trent and was it a read there by James? And that's why he was able to take it all the way to the house, because it really was that momentum play you're talking about.
Yeah, they played the safety back to double cover Lance. Trent missed the read, ended up making a throw that their guy made a great play on, and to return it 70 yards and all the way back would have been pretty easy for our guys to kind of give it up right there, but they didn't, and fought hard to finish the game.
That was an incomplete pass on the two-point conversion, very crucial there. And then another crucial play, fumble by Matt McIntosh, picked up by Brett Taylor. He will score with 9:35 remaining. Western back on top, and who would think that Brett would have 2 touchdowns at this point of the year?
Well, he's an opportunistic guy, plays hard all the time, and those guys that hustle end up finding these kinds of plays. And big play. We had not done anything with the possession after the turnover that they had, and then our defense came up and forced one of their own. Yeah,
Aaron Diggs forced the fumble, and then Lenore open on the Leathernecks 2-point try, but can't reel it in. He tried for an Odell Beckham type catch there and couldn't convert on the 2-pointer. Johnson, looking for redemption, makes the 32-yarder with 5 minutes left in the game, putting SIU in front 36-34. What's the game plan at this point, sending your offense back out?
Well, to score. We've got plenty of time. Got the field in front of us. We've been moving the ball well, and unfortunately, again, we turned the ball over, force a throw that gives Southern a chance to run the clock out. But at the same time, with all of our timeouts, we knew we could stop them, and if we got it back, take another chance.
Well, this happened in the Coastal Carolina game, too, and your defense again came up with a big stop and a big 3-and-out, and that's exactly what happened. How proud of you were you on the defense there after an incomplete pass on 3rd and 6?
Yeah, they came in, stepped it up, forced a punting situation, and we didn't even have to use all of our timeouts to do it, and set up a chance for our offense to win the football game. Yeah,
Lenore with the catch and run, setting up the Leathernecks in the red zone with 2 timeouts, mind you, and that's where you talk about going with your go-to guy.
Yeah, big play. He comes back to the football underneath the coverage, makes a great catch, then breaks a tackle and picks up another 20 yards on the run.
6 seconds left in the game. Nathan Knuffman with a 20-yard field goal to put WIU in the lead. He got it, and how did he stay composed?
Well, we work on that every day in practice. It's a situation that we try to rehearse. It's you can't rehearse it like a game, but Nate's a pretty cool customer, and we were confident we put the ball in a good spot, place that he's going to make it 100% of the time.
Game not over though, 2 seconds left. Kickoff is a squib from Otto and a huddle and split off from the Salukis, but Isom is wrapped up to end the game. Were you guys prepared for a kind of SC top 10 return like that?
Well, we knew they're going to do something, so we kept our coverage guys back. We can certainly do a better job, I think, against this kind of stuff, but the big thing is to get him on the ground, and that's what our guys did to finish the game. How is Nathan Knuffman go back to that kick? And well, first of all, we're going to take a look at the final box score. Again, a little ahead. That kick was so crucial at the end. Trenton Norvell, 18 of 35, 333 yards in the air after a 370-yard performance against Coastal Carolina. 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, and Western's 37-36 win. Nico Watson, 27 carries, 174 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Brett Taylor thought 16 tackles against Illinois was impressive, 17, and he had that fumble return for a touchdown. But bring back to one of those guys that isn't on the graphic, Nathan Knuffman, and he's played since freshman year. Talk about how that maybe helped him in that kind of situation. And to be honest, did you watch the kick, or were you kind of cringing a little bit? Oh yeah, I watched the kick. I've had a couple other games where it's come down to a last-second field goal, and again, we had the ball in a great spot. The mechanics of that is something we work on every day, and I really felt confident that Nate was going to knock her through. And he did, and more on the way next. You're locked in to the WIU Football Coaches Show.
Founded in 1985, the Missouri Valley Football Conference has established a tradition of FCS football excellence. Competing at the highest level at NCAA Division I, student athletes at its 10 institutions demonstrate character, passion, and integrity as they grow as a student, an athlete, and a citizen. The Missouri Valley Football Conference, where leaders are shaped and champions are forged.
I always knew I would be a leatherneck. Western was the only university I applied to. The educational opportunities at Western provided me experiences and lessons in leadership and service. The faculty and staff at Western genuinely care about the students, and I know that choosing WIU is key to the beginning of my success story. Think purple, think success, think Western Illinois University.
Welcome back to the WIU Football Coaches Show. I'm your host, Danny Fry. It's never easy to sit out of something you enjoy doing. Seniors Taylor Hill and Dallas Nichols know all about that, missing most of last season due to injuries. But the two had pivotal roles in the Leatherneck homecoming victory over Southern Illinois.
It was heartbreaking, to be honest with you. I've had knee problems before, so when I got hurt, I kind of had a feeling of what I did, and it was heartbreaking, it really was. It wasn't sad that I didn't hurt because of the injury. It hurt because I couldn't play with my best friends, my brothers, and it was more of an emotional, sadness than it was any physical thing. But
have all your momentum, get a big pick in a big game, and then get injured. It kind of sucks. Right? Kind of you get down, but it was good that I had another year. So and coaches motivated me to get back, and there's always a future and everything. So.
Hill and Nichols had to adjust to standing on the sidelines.
Very strange, and it was against Southern too, I remember, and it was a weird bus ride there, and you're not going out for pre-warm-up to warm up with you guys, and just something I hadn't done ever. I've never missed a game, so it was very strange for sure.
No athletes like sitting out, and it hurts you. It seems like the love of your life is just sitting there teasing with another guy in front of you, but it was worth it. It was all worth it, especially those tough games like NDSU and ISU. I could have gave up my right leg to say to get back on the field, but it was nice to actually sit back and see how everything unravels and the cards. I mean, behind the play, the big picture, I guess you could say.
It was a long off season filled with goals.
Just next year that we have great things, and there's a new era in Leathernecks, and that we have something that we're building, and to be a part of that was a blessing. And I knew that we had a lot of people coming back on the offensive side and a lot of good athletes coming back on the defensive side, so just to be a part of something the following year, to focus on that.
I wanted to get back as soon as possible, and I kind of probably pushed it a little bit, but Coach Piros helped me out with kind of back off. But I just wanted to be ready and be able to play this year. That was my main goal, and I achieved that.
A couple crucial plays in the win over SIU were made by Hill and Nichols.
I mean, I knew what the play call, and I knew we were going to call that play, so I just wanted to make sure I ran the best route that I could, and Trent threw a great ball, and all the guys blocked perfectly, so I just, did what I could to help my team win.
I just seen a gift, and kind of took my eyes off the ball, looking downfield and looking in the end zone. Got a little too happy. So, but thanks to God, I brought it in. But thanks to Taylor, he made a great play on the ball and batted it up for me and gave me a nice little early Christmas present.
Coach, both of those guys just really couldn't wait to get back on the field. How much could you really tell that last year?
Well, they both worked really hard in their rehab, coming off season-ending injuries. Both of them are guys that are important parts of our football team, and it's been good to get them back on the field. Taylor still wasn't able to do a lot in spring practice, and now they're getting healthier and healthier as the year goes on.
Yeah, and really making a big role in this team as well. Let's take our last break of the show, but stay tuned, as up next, Coach and I will preview the Family Weekend matchup against South Dakota.
I chose Western because it reminded me of home and for its outstanding forensic chemistry program. My classes and academic experiences give me the knowledge I'll need for my career. The programs at Western teach me to lead and contribute to my community. I know my choice is the beginning of my success story. Think purple, think success, think Western Illinois University.
Western Illinois University allows you to think for yourself and to discover the freedom to become your own.
Own it at Western. Build your own expectations and fill your own shoes.
Explore an academic culture that adapts to you.
Create yourself and inspire originality in an open and safe environment.
Western Illinois University lets you make your own success story.
Think purple.
Think success.
Think Western Illinois University.
Welcome back to the WIU Football Coaches Show. It's time to check in on how the Missouri Valley teams performed last weekend in the conference opener. Some games really stood out, of course, on Northern Iowa and Illinois State. The Redbirds picking up the victory 21-13. Youngstown State all over Western's opponent this week, South Dakota 31-3. And North Dakota State cruising by South Dakota State, who was previously undefeated, 28-7. And now the games on tap this week in the Valley. Week 6 edition. A couple big games again. Northern Iowa going to Fargo to take on North Dakota State. Illinois State matching up with Bo Pelini and the Youngstown State Penguins on the road, and then Indiana State against SDSU in a pair of 3-1 teams. And it will be a long stretch for the Leathernecks from now on with no more bye weeks. The 2-2 South Dakota Coyotes come into Macomb this weekend. They're an up-and-coming program, and Coach, how close are they to turning the corner in FCS play?
Oh, I think they've turned the corner. They've got a big win already against Cal Davis' team, and you add to that when you look at who their losses are to a very tough Youngstown team, and their other losses to Kansas State. So they're a team that's played very competitively, a really good defensive football team that plays a power style on offense.
Trevor Bauma is the main reason why they play that power style. He's the leading rusher for the Coyotes, but it can't be a running back by committee. How can that be slowed down?
Well, you got to play well against the run. Our front guys are going to have to be disruptive. They use the quarterback in the running game too, as we've seen the last couple of weeks, and and we've got to do a good job of recognizing formations and making sure our fits are good throughout the course of the afternoon.
On defense, the Coyotes had problems defending the pass. So last year in the 44-29 loss to WIU, and how do you plan to expose the secondary again?
Well, first it starts with our continuing to be balanced. I think if we can run the football effectively and create some openings for the passing game, which is something we've done well the last 2 weeks. You know, they've been really good against the run defensively, and they've you know, forced teams to have to go to the air to move it, and we want to make sure that we can try to keep some balance in our offense.
USD has an experienced head coach, Joe Glenn, who's been around the block, Wyoming, Montana, etc., and he's ready to get his Coyotes back in the win column in the Missouri Valley. How's your team kind of keep down that tenacity?
Well, I've known Coach Glenn for a long time. You know, one of the greatest coaches in college football history, a guy that won national championships at the Division II and at the FCS level, and he's going to have his guys ready to play. They're going to be fundamentally sound. They're going to play hard, and what we've got to do is we've got to match that with relentless effort on our part.
What do you think really the difference is going to be in the game, kind of looking at the matchups?
Well, I think it goes back to some things that we didn't do very well last week. You know, number one, we got to win the turnover margin. We've got to do a better job playing field position football, which is something we didn't do last week. We overcame a lot last week, and in our league, if you're in every week a game where you're overcoming a lot, you're not going to be very successful.
Yes, without a doubt. And kickoff in Macomb set for 3 o'clock versus the South Dakota Coyotes on Family Day. For Coach Nielsen, I'm Danny Fry. Thanks for watching.